Hey there folks, Tempesk here, bringing another audio commentary, and today we have a game actually between Lucifer and Focus, and this is going to be a game on Terranistan. We've had a lot of Lucifer games recently, but he's been doing so fantastically. This is another game from the I Love Disc competition, still round of 16, so this is a best of 3, at which Focus is currently 1-0 up, so only one game from eliminating Lucifer in the first round. But certainly last time round we saw Sweet do a fantastic job against Soccer, and that's a very much similar situation to this one, where it's a really old school undead coming back and doing just so fantastically. We'll have to see how Lucifer can fare in the same circumstances. And actually, while we're building up in this game, I may as well take this time to announce that I will be casting the replayers.com Cup. It's a really nice cup they've just set up now. It's the first ever one. It has a whole bunch of good players coming in here, so I will be setting up a live stream for that. I believe it's going to be on March the 27th. You can find all the details on replayers.com for that, and actually you can apply to play in it as well. Lucifer actually sending his ghoul down, but looks like he's not quite ready. He should send it to this graveyard, just so it can harvest them a bit quicker. But maybe it's some interesting architecture planned or something for his base. And anyways, yes, it's going to be a great cup. It is good. It already has a bunch of great players signed up. I believe both of these two players, Lucifer and Focus, are both signed up, as well as I think Nicker is signed up, and Lolly. There's a couple really fantastic players already signed up for it. I'm very excited to cast the last couple rounds on a live stream, and I'll probably, in anticipation of that, just start casting some games on live stream just to get the technology all working and whatnot. So I might post some announcements for that on my YouTube channel when I go start streaming. So do keep an eye out for that, and I'll try and do some of that in the near future. But it looks like we will be having this game starting up. Focus now doing some creeping, obviously going to take out this one wizard quickly, hoping for a good item, which is just going to help this creeping. But unfortunately he does just get a Cloak of Shadows, so we will be selling that. And meanwhile we have this super fast Fiend build from Lucifer, which just means that he actually got his first Digger out so late that as the Death Knight you can see how much slower it is than that Blade Master, and that can cost you, but it does mean you have to do something with this Fiend while it's out. But it means that once your Death Knight is out, you do have 2 Fiends out, which is very nice, because it means you can actually do some significant creeping. Probably get very fast Sacrificial Skull here for Lucifer. That's interesting. Maybe he's going to go for fast expansion. Maybe he just wants to creep out this expansion really quickly, and often undeads will just set down that creep outside or on the place where they're standing, just so they can regenerate a bit quicker, and then that allows them to put up some towers if they want to do some expanding later on. Interesting choice there though for Lucifer. We'll have to see how he wants to use that, because buying it so quickly really suggests that he actually has a plan for it, as opposed to just something that he thinks will be useful in the based on what he's seen of Focuses, because he actually hasn't done any scouting yet. The skeleton, I think, is the first scouting he'll have done on Focus, and actually it looks like he's not even going to catch that Blade Master. He certainly will suspect a Blade Master is about, but he can't know for sure. Blade Master now level 2, Death Knight going to be level 2 fairly shortly now. Certainly a third Fiend is going to be on the way. Still no tech here for Lucifer, but certainly you do want to get up a couple Fiends before you start teching in this situation, just because you get your Death Knight so much later. And we're actually already 6 items here for this Death Knight. Really, he's accrued those items very quickly. Ooh, drops this bite already, so he is going to use it just to be creeping on this camp here eventually, and there's not too much focusing to do about it at this point, unless he tries and stole some of the creeps. But that's really not looking too good for him. But maybe he can just set this benchmark where that's the place he needs to go and just check every once in a while. Blade Master actually getting some nice critical strikes there, doing some good damage, but this Death Knight will be able to chase him away. Actually, Blade Master gets dusted. I'm not sure that was too necessary in this situation. I'll have to see what Lucifer wants to do next. If it's that creeping of the shop, then maybe that makes sense. But actually, it's going to take out this peon first. Focus has now started his tech. It's about 60% of the way done, and still no tech for Lucifer. So really lagging a bit behind here. But going back to the graveyard, actually bringing up more skeletons, but he's actually not being able to do any creeping because Focus just has his couple grunts and his Blade Master running around, just making sure that Lucifer can actually get up to any shenanigans here. And it looks like actually the Blade Master going to come in, maybe going to try and get off a hit. His Windwalk is about to time out. Ooh, nice dust there actually by Lucifer. Does catch that, and so it means that Focus is forced to attack, and that means that his grunts are going to have to just be kept out of the battle, because they can't be running in, then running straight back out again. And looks like this Blade Master going to have to stay on the sidelines. Maybe going to run and try and steal the creep, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to get it. No, he doesn't. Oh, actually, did he get the item? No, he didn't get the item there. Item did go to Lucifer there, but still, Focus doing a nice job of just keeping Lucifer pretty slow. Still no tech here for Lucifer. We know Focus will have been almost done. Yes, so close to being done now, and he'll be getting into second hero, probably that Shadow Hunter, as well as actually I guess against an early Fiend build, Torrent Chieftain is possible, but Shadow Hunter is just so much more common these days, especially against such a modern player like Focus. But it's going to be quite interesting to see what buildings Focus decides to go for. There's really a lot of leeway here for Orc. Orc can go straight to tier 3, they can go dual Bestiary, they can go Bestiary and continue to produce grunts, they can do Bestiary Spirit Lodge. I mean, there's just a whole cornucopia of options for them there. And Lucifer now with 5 Fiends, just starting his tech now, and actually having a 7th Fiend on the way. He's got a lot of Fiends here. This is really, really interesting play here by him. And we do hope, it's a Torrent Chieftain actually coming out, as well as just a single Bestiary. I think one option I didn't mention was Bestiary and then tech to tier 3. That's certainly one fantastic option as well for Orc. But we'll have to see if that's what Focus wants to go for. Although at the moment it looks like he's just going to be going for grunts and raiders, and that's such a powerful combination. Another dust being used, so many dust being used here by Lucifer. I think that's the 4th charge he's used now on that dust, and Blade Master actually coming in, but he's taking too much damage, can't take down this Fiend. And it'll be interesting actually to see when Lucifer decides to get attack upgrades, because once you have this many Fiends, attack upgrades become so useful. Coil actually, and now that Lucifer's at level 3, actually so good for those Fiends as well. It means that Lucifer can actually do some pretty decent creeping and continue to level, and his Lucifer's tech just so much further behind, actually putting up his 4th Ziggurat before his tech is halfway down is a sign of just how far behind he is. Focus now putting down a War Mill. Maybe that's a sign we're going to be seeing some Kodos later on, or maybe he just wants some upgrades, but I think Kodos, despite the fact that actually they take a whole bunch of extra damage from Fiends, just have so much health, and actually if you can eat a Fiend, then that's just so powerful. This Torrent Chieftain still with 0 experience, but Stomp at level 1 is so powerful. Really, it becomes only slightly more powerful as you level up, which is such a contrast to Shockwave, which is the complete opposite. Focus now getting a bit trapped, but does buy Zeppelin. I assume there's no web yet for, actually there definitely isn't any web yet for Lucifer, because he isn't yet at tier 2, so it looks like we will be having these Fiends pulling back, because Lucifer knows he can't fight against that, because he has nothing that can hit air, so just low units can be picked up so easily. And it looks like this Blade Master is actually now going to come in, and Lucifer going to pick this fight. This is an interesting choice here to pick. No, he's finally moving back now. Looks like he did actually do some shopping here, picked up an invuln pot. That's a good choice. This Torrent Chieftain uses the speed scroll, maybe going to try and get a stomp. One ensnare does go off. Lucifer gonna get this Fiend caught. Actually, already 1-0 upgraded. As I said, upgrade's so useful when you have this many Fiends, and it looks like this one Fiend already gonna go down. This one's stomp didn't do as much though, this Zeppelin actually still keeping up with the army. Could be so useful. Oh, fantastic stomp there for Focus. I wonder if if Lucifer has absolutely anything coming. No, he doesn't. He does have to TP away, and look at this. Is Zeppelin actually going to be able to pick up a couple low units to stop them from being focused down? And we do have Lucifer losing a Fiend very early on, or actually 2 Fiends in that battle. That's just so bad, and it's now getting web just because of that one Zeppelin. So fantastic opening here for Focus, really showing that he's been such a solid player recently. And we do have a Lich now coming out for Lucifer, who's now basically forced to sit in his base, because all he has is 7 Fiends in his Death Knight, and that's not going to be any comparison, especially now that the Ensnare is out for Focus, and he has a couple Raiders out, and we do have one Coda Beast now coming out, and no upgrades, 47 out of 50 food, so maybe one more Grunt or one more Raider coming out now for Focus. He's going to be at 50. Maybe you could even expand then. He had such a good opening. Looks like this one Zeppelin actually does get webbed, but nothing in it, so not too big a loss there for Focus. Actually, it's probably best for him that he loses it there, rather than thinks he can get away with using it later on and then gets it webbed while he has a bunch of heroes in it, or but just even a couple units. That can just be such a huge loss. Death Knight now actually running without a TP. It's risky, but actually looks like we do have the ghouls being brought in here, and another sacrificial skull being bought. Really, Lucifer making good use of them. They're pretty cheap, and they can be pretty useful in this sort of situation, especially when there's no dispel here for focus, and actually these fiends now running down. Looks like they're going to try and pick a battle, but this Blade Master knows exactly what's going on. That's going to give Focus the opportunity to get in the perfect position to get some good stomps off, but still only level 1 on his Torn Chieftain. He can make some fake Torn Chieftains. That might be pretty useful at this point, but it looks like he might not have the time to do it suddenly, at least. And actually, Speed Scroll being used here. We will have Lucifer getting one Fiend immediately webbed or ensnared, but this Frost Armor being used, Scroll of Protection being used by Focus actually, and this Frost Armor is going to be so good. Look how slow all the units attacking that one Fiend are. Fantastic play there by Lucifer, and actually there's also a Frost Armor on the Death Knight as well, so that's really going to dissuade Focus from trying to take that down. This one goal taking a lot of damage is going to be actually not being focused down. Focus maybe eventually going to go for it. Yes, there he finally goes, gets it down, but a bit sloppy play there by him. This one Kodo has eaten a Fiend though. That's very, very nice, and we do have all the ensnares now running out, so Lucifer will be just trying to make a run for it at this point, and Coil goes off to take down one more Raider, but it looks like one ensnare. Oh, nice dodge there by Lucifer, fantastic dodge of that ensnare, and he can now burrow, and he can just run away, but obviously he will be in a bit of trouble. Ooh, bad stop there by Focus. Maybe Lucifer will be able to get out of his otherwise bad battle. He will need to use Frost Armor as Lich perhaps, and actually this one Fiend just being left there, and ooh, actually looks like another Fiend was forced to be burrowed there. Nice play there by Lucifer, just keeping these alive for as long as possible, making this Blade Master take as much damage as possible, and Frost Armor being used, and actually now this Fiend gonna go down, but a lot of, oh, nice call there from behind by Lucifer, and actually another a lot of Fiends being burrowed. Fantastic micro here. Oh, the Lich does get ensnared though. Ooh, Invulnerability Potion being passed, but unfortunately Lucifer can't get it across in time, and actually it's stolen here. This Blade Master now has 2 Invulnerability Potions. Fantastic there for Focus. Really unfortunate there for Lucifer, who just really, really was so close to having that, and if he had kept that Lich alive, he could have been in a fantastic position, because that Blade Master didn't have a whole lot of health. Could have been in a bit of trouble, but actually this one Fiend now going to try and make a run for it, going to be able to meet up with the rest of the army, and that Lich I think was still only level 1, so we'll be back, yeah, very, very soon. And now we will have Lucifer being forced to do very, very small creeping, just because he knows that Creep Jack could be very, very deadly if it's too big. This Torn Chieftain not yet level 3, but with that aura, that can just be so good for countering the effects of the Unholy Aura from Lucifer. And actually, is it just going to be Fiends, or are we seeing a Slaughterhouse? No Slaughterhouse at the moment. So interesting play here by Lucifer, who has stuck at tier 2 as well, bear in mind. So no orb on that Lich as well, and no third hero, which can be very, very useful, especially against the Torn Chieftain. And looks like one coil and a couple shots are going to go off on that Blade Master, going to cancel itself, and that Blade Master actually going to be unable to heal up again for a long time, because he will have to meet up with that Torn Chieftain, which is currently blocked. The one easy entrance is blocked by Lucifer here, and the Blade Master running back through, but it take a lot of focus. Does turn around yet again, down to 200 health. Does have an invuln pot though, and I see we passed one to the Torn Chieftain. Yeah, he did pass the other one to the Torn Chieftain now, and Potion of Mana actually being dropped there for the Death Knight, just so he can get a whole bunch more calls off. And this Lich that's so low experience, just so easy to pick off if Lucifer isn't paying attention, but he immediately Frost Armors himself in anticipation of this creeping, and good take some focus now on this Lich, which is good choice by him, because it means he can just crawl it up and be so effective with his calls. Nice dust there. This Blade Master now going to be forced to run out of there. The Scroll of the Beast not being picked up by him before he can get out, so really Focus going to be going for the Creep Jack by the looks of things, so going to be trying to catch him from this angle, and it'll be interesting to see actually how much damage he can actually do, because Lucifer should be expecting some sort of Creep Jack. He definitely is now, and one ensnare goes off, another ensnare on the same Fiend. Actually, it's a bit careless of him, but looks like this one Fiend will have Frost Armor cast on him, and so it's really such a bad target. But oh my god, look at an Ogre Mauler being bought and Scroll of the Beast being used by Lucifer. This is actually a pretty strong army, and this one Fiend buying so much time here for Lucifer, as he managed to do a whole bunch of damage to both of Focus's heroes now. Blade Master gets Focus down with a nice coil, and Focus now in a lot of trouble, because it's just so tricky to actually do any damage when you don't have your Blade Master. A nice coil there, keeping these Fiends alive as well. Really fantastic micro here by Lucifer, and this Torn Chieftain now so close to level 3, but only at 130 hit points as well, and these Fiends being burrowed as soon as they get down to low health. This Kodo Beast has actually eaten one Fiend, but it is killed very quickly. Another Kodo Beast comes in from behind and eats a full hit point Fiend. That's fantastic there. Lucifer can't heal this Ogre Mauler, unfortunately, but still he does take a lot of damage with it before it eventually does go down. So many burrow Fiends, making fantastic use of burrow. Stomp going off there. That's going to do a bit of of damage, but just it's not going to be enough now for Focus, who's just so far behind and hasn't managed to get his Blade Master back from the tavern yet. Maybe he's even altering it back, I'm not sure. Yes, he is, he's altering it back. That's really surprising there for me, just because it's so important to get your Blade Master back. And these skeletons now, looks like they were sent to try and catch up with that Torn Chieftain, but the Torn Chieftain is running to the altar, probably going to cancel buying it back at the altar, sorry, buying it back at the tavern. And this Blade Master did have that invuln pot actually, so Focus was a bit careless with the timing there, didn't manage to use his invuln pod in time, and looks like we will have an invuln pod actually bought for the Sledge and a TP bought for the Death Knight, so some good items here. But actually this one Coda Beast does actually have a Fiend in him, so really Focus does need to be careful with this. Probably shouldn't have run it forward, because that would have been revealed to Lucifer. And Lucifer actually running in with some skeletons now, but unfortunately not going to get any nice pathing blocks or anything off. Tier 3 now finished for Focus, and no reinforced defensive. Oh, it's actually pretty close to being done, but in the meantime some of these burrows might well go down, although I'm sure that's not the biggest problem for Focus at the most. Focus is going to spend his money on things like this orb. Does actually get one nice surround here on this feed. Can it be burrowed in time? No, it isn't snared. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end for that one feed, unless it's called. No, it's not going to be called. And so really very, very nice play here by both players, but Focus now going to be forced into the back of his base for a couple seconds at least. I think he should probably have to push out in a little while at least. No second attack upgrade yet for Lucifer. I wonder if that's... No, it's not on the way yet, but Slaughterhouse is now going down for him, and it looks like actually Lucifer going to pull back, realizing that he can't really do too much more damage, and that it's actually this fight, it's certainly, I think this game's in Focus's favor at the moment, but certainly it's by no means over. Really, there's been small mistakes by both players, but such fantastic play by both players as well. And Lucifer actually being caught creeping here, that's a bit careless by him. Nice, another burrow dodge for the Ensnare. Fantastic play there by Lucifer, just being so on top of things. Such fantastic reaction times. Really, it's amazing how that has just stayed with him over the last couple of years, even though he had absolutely, or very little practice as far as I know. And actually Focus coming in for this creep deck, a very aggressive creeping here by Lucifer. Really, I'd be surprised if he actually managed to do any significant creeping here, just because he knows that Focus is right nearby, and maybe he's going to try and get a creep jack here, going to try and coil this Enforcer once it's low, and this Lich now level 3 actually, so that's very, very nice for him. Still in level 1 Frost Arrow by the looks of things, but maybe this was cast before level 3 was hit. Cole goes off to take this Raider down to low health. Should probably have a salve cast on him, although actually no salve on these heroes. So it is going to be a little while at least before that Raider can be healed up, and you can't have it close by the area. And Death Knight does come in, gets the coil here. Very, very nice play there. And we do now have tier 3 for Lucifer, as well as getting the Destroyer upgrade and some statues finally. It's so much later than you normally see it though. And this Renegade Wizard actually might go down. Actually, it's very unclear who's going to go down to. No, it looks like Lucifer does eventually manage to get it with that coil. Does pick up the item, which is a Scourge Bone Charge, but will it be enough here? Because obviously it isn't. It's only going to affect the Death Knight, and it looks like we will be having Lucifer TP away. Actually, being a bit careless there with his Fiend micro. He should have really unburrowed that one a couple seconds later. It probably would have stayed alive. Obviously, you do need to unburrow it for your TP to carry it away. So it is important to do that, but just getting the timing right is so important, and that's something that isn't too tricky to do as long as you're you have the APM to be paying full attention to that and all the other things you do need to be paying attention to. Two Coda Beast with a War Drum's attack upgrade actually now as well. 4 Focus going to make the best of all with tier 3. Maybe get by a tiny Great Hall as well. That would be a good choice. Although actually, oh no, he has rebuilt his shop here, and yes, he has picked up a tiny Great Hall. That's a good choice here there just for him, because he's in a decent position now. He can afford to try and expand. And ooh, Dark Ranger being picked up third here for Lucifer. It's a fantastic hero against that Torn Chieftain, because you can tell when a Torn Chieftain is going in for the stomp, and then if you can get him right at the right time and stop him from being able to stomp after he's moved into sort of a really otherwise precarious position, then really that can be very, very bad for him, because he's in the position where he's expected just to he's put himself in a super dangerous position with the idea that he will be able to stun all the units for 4 seconds. I think is the Torn Chieftain, yeah, for 4 seconds. So if he can't manage to do that because he's silenced, then he can be focused down really quickly, especially if you have 3 heroes and an orb, which yeah, we do now have the orb. Still the Scourge Bone Chimes though. I really think Lucifer should just sell that. I mean, it's only going to affect his Death Knight, and that only slightly. I mean, seems very, very pointless to actually keep it, but a lot of fake heroes actually being made here by Lucifer. Level 5 now on his Death Knight, that's very, very nice. And meanwhile, it's just 3-3 here from Focus, so it's definitely the hero advantage for Lucifer at this point. Lucifer bringing his ghouls yet again. I think he brought them last time and actually ended up losing them and having to rebuild them. And they even get Ghoul Frenzy, even though I think he only has 3 ghouls in his army. Yeah, it's an interesting choice there for him, but I guess he's at 50 food, so he just wants to be doing whatever he can at that point to not be moving past it. But it looks like we will be having another fight here. Ensnare isn't dodged by Lucifer there, but it looks like a Nova goes off on that Blademaster. Blademaster forced to use an invuln pot, and actually will need to be very careful because that invuln pot's going to run out pretty quickly. Nice stop there by Focus, really managing to catch a lot of units. This one Fiend now going to be focused down eventually, and there is enough mana for a call, but it isn't used in time. Nice stop there yet again. This Death Knight actually starting to take a bit of damage. Does have a TP if he absolutely needs to use it. These Kodo Beasts moving back, trying to eat some Fiends. One does manage to, the other one does not, and Nova goes off, takes down that Tauren Chieftain, and this is just fantastic hero focus from Lucifer, who will off the TP out any second now. Just need to be wary of that critical strike, and he does eventually manage to get out of there. Very, very nice, and 2 low Raiders. How many will go down? Just 1, unfortunately, for Lucifer, but still, it's very, very nice. These Troll Berserkers doing a huge amount of damage, actually 2 armor upgrades for Focus, obviously, and that's fantastic as well. But looks like actually we'll be having that Tauren Chieftain just spot back at the tavern. That's interesting, actually. That's a huge expense here, but I guess considering he did buy this tiny Great Hall, he can sort of afford it, and what he's really worried about is pushes now, just constantly before his Tauren Chieftain comes back. Death Knight has bought a Potion of Healing and a Scroll of Healing and another TP actually, so not too much of an army left for Lucifer, but 5-4-2 hero levels, that's very, very hard to stop. And actually we could have fantastic position here for Lucifer if he moves somewhere like back here or back here where the buildings are actually going to work against Focus. That would be absolutely brilliant. Yes, that's what he's going for here, and this is very, very nice. He does need to be wary obviously of the Blademaster. Actually needs to move his Fiends back as well, but he's going to be able to take down all these peons at very least, and that's huge here for him. This Tauren Chieftain needs to be blocked from coming in, maybe by putting the ghouls here and here, obviously eventually you are going to have to let him in, but actually, ooh, nice flank here by Focus, managing to get in, does get a stomp, it does hit a couple units, but not as many as he probably would like to. The silence goes off a bit too late, unfortunately. Not fantastic timing by that for Lucifer. The statue is focused down as well very, very quickly by the Blademaster and a couple Fiends, or a couple Raiders, and the Fiends now are nicely bunched up, but still there's just so many units here for Focus, really playing a fantastic macro style. This Lich taking a lot of focus, is forced to use an invuln pot. There is enough mana for a lot of coils left on this Death Knight. Actually, one Fiend going to be allowed to die here, but the Tauren Chieftain is eventually focused down yet again. Another coil goes off to heal this Lich up, and this Dark Ranger could actually be in a lot of trouble now. No manages to slip away. One low Fiend here has been burrowed, and actually another low Fiend back here does go down. Just the heroes left here for Lucifer, who will have to pick off a couple units, then TP out, but he can actually do a lot more damage he takes here, and this is how he needs to win with this sort of war of attrition that Undead is so fantastic against, especially against Orc these days. And a nice call goes off, and you can just see it's so tricky when you have this sort of block for Focus to actually do anything. He's managing to micro back units, which is really all he can do at this point. Doesn't have enough mana for another call, but he has passed the TP. This Dark Ranger will TP out, and look how much damage Lucifer has actually managed to do, considering he only came in with what, 3 Fiends and a couple ghouls, and he took down a Tauren Chieftain, a bunch of units, really, and actually stopped the mining for a long time as well. So that's pretty nice for him. But actually looks like Lucifer, his own mine has run out, and he's selling buildings. Looks like he isn't going to be expanding himself. He's going to be going for an all-in at some point pretty soon, probably bringing his acolytes with him. And I'm not sure, does he have, he only has Unholy Aura level 1, so he probably does have Death Pact. We'll be able to use that to keep his Death Knight alive, and obviously using it on acolytes is just so good because they're pretty much useless otherwise, apart from actually for blocking. If you get back in here again and put the acolytes in nice little positions here, that would be so frustrating for Focus, who would eventually manage to break in. But as I say, because Lucifer has such fantastic focusing power with his spells and with 2 ranged shows, one of whom has an orb, and with those Fiends, you can actually do a huge amount of damage. But it's interesting actually as to what Lucifer is going to do now, because he has to take a fight soon, and we'll have to see what position he wants to take. I think he'll want to go for that same position, but will Focus let him? He has his whole army camped out here. Tauren Chieftain is now back, using a Salve and a Clarity, because he was taverned back, and looks like actually Lucifer is going to do some more creeping here. Wow, really shouldn't be doing this, I don't think, because his army composition is just getting his army is just going to be so outmatched by the time he gets there. 43 food for Focus compared to 33 for Lucifer, so it's not overwhelming at this point, but really considering that he already has this level 5 Death Knight, he should either be pulling this Death Knight back or just be going for the attack now and hoping for the best. Looks like 1B on just getting out what's going on. 4 Focus needs to be absolutely sure that Lucifer doesn't have an expansion, because if Lucifer did have an expansion now, that would probably be it for Focus if he couldn't take it down. Because just this fantastic hero levels, these hero levels for Lucifer are so fantastic. Just it's so important to be able to get there. It looks like, ooh, this Torch Chieftain getting his clarity cancelled there. Nice play there by Lucifer, and we are going to be seeing this attack. Lucifer going to come in with only a couple skeletons, a couple fiends, and his 4 remaining acolytes. Actually, I wonder what happened to the 5th one. Oh, he's left it back at home so that he can maybe sell some more building something if he needs to buy an item urgently. I'm not sure exactly what his plan is, and Lucifer actually moving out too far in the open here really could be susceptible to a nice stomp. Maybe he's trying to bait it though when they get the silence. We'll have to see. And we do have this this fight going on Blight, which is obviously in Lucifer's advantage, but a nice silence there, hitting that Blade Master, but the uniform pop being used by the Torch Chieftain, so he can get a fantastic stomp out. Truly phenomenal. This Death Knight does use Death Pact actually to stay alive, and this Torch Chieftain being focused down, using another stomp though. This Torch Chieftain is going to be focused down, but will Lucifer be able to keep his Death Knight alive? He doesn't have a TP anymore, and it looks like Focus manages to keep the block on, and the invuln mob being used here by this Death Knight, and the Blade Master now being focused down as well, but the Death Knight is now no longer invulnerable. The Lich, it's such low health as well. Death Knight gets focused down as he's running away. The Lich gets focused down as well. Blade Master goes down, but I think that's going to be it for Lucifer. Focus is going to take him down 2-0. Fantastic. There's the GG from Lucifer. What an ending to a game there. Wow, if that would have been so different. Lucifer just managed to keep that Death Knight alive. He could have maybe even lost the Lich, and he just needed to somehow just win that hit and run, keep a couple heroes alive, so he can just be focusing down units, especially with those statues. You can do so much. What a fantastic game there, though, by both players. Focus really showing why he's one of the most dominant players in the world at the moment. So I very much hope you enjoyed that game. As I say, we'll be casting the replayers.com Cup on the 27th of March. Check tft.replayers.com for the details, and you can even apply as well to play in it. So I hope you enjoyed that, folks, and I'll bring you some more games very soon. Thanks.